What's up, YouTube? It's Isaiah Alston, and you're watching AlstonTv. Well, I am here with Rashawn Cooper and Dominique King, two very special friends of mine who I've known for a minute now. Since high school. Shout out to Nottingham High School.
Yes.
And we are here. We're going to be talking about some things. But before we get into all of that, Rashawn Cooper, tell us about yourself. Who are you? What you been up to?
I'm 20 years old. I haven't been up to much except for trying to get my life together. I have a daughter, so I mean that's like
I love her.
It's my main focus right now. That and getting to where I want to be for my future.
Yes.
My only focus. That's what I'm up to.
That's what's up.
Grinding.
Dominique King, tell us about yourself.
Well, I'm 21 years old. My name is Dominique, like you said. I don't do anything. I don't really have a social life. I work a lot, 2 jobs. I'm going back to school in the spring, so I'm really excited about that because
shout out to school,
yes.
Education. Let's go.
It's very important, especially since it's coming out of my pockets. I'm staying in, so yeah.
It's good. Props to you. Okay, so before we get into speak on it, how did we meet? Tom, let's go with you. Let's start with you.
Okay, so I knew Isaiah and since middle school. He didn't know me, but I always saw him walking in the hallway with a big book bag on his back. This little child.
I was so small.
With a big head on his shoulders.
You're doing.
But when we got
she was a grade ahead of me.
Right. When we got in high school, I was in gospel choir. We had a play. From what I know, we had a play, and I guess he sung the Star Spangled Banner, and he got the part right on the spot.
It's facts. I'm just saying.
He's blessed. That's all I can say. And
hey, man, shout out to the vocal
blessed to know him.
For God putting these, taking that extra little time on those. He can take a little bit more if you want.
Yeah, humble. Like no.
But yeah, so we've known each other since high school, gospel choir. That's how we Alto Gang. Shout out to Martinique Creech, who you guys seen a couple weeks ago. Yeah, so that's how we, got our start. And Rashawn, aka Usnavi.
Stop. But I mean, like the way we met. All I remember was, you could correct me if I'm wrong, but I was because I remember being in the auditorium.
Mm-hmm, we were in the auditorium.
Yes, and I think it was either Miss Hall or Miss Flaherty introduced me to you, and the way I saw it was competition because they spoke so highly of you. It's like, oh, this boy, he has such an amazing
I had a target
voice.
on my back as soon as I walked in.
Honestly,
and I felt some kind of way, and then you sang, and I was like, who this little girl think he is?
Girl, though.
I did have the range. Come on, somebody. All right.
But at the end of the day, I'm glad that we did meet.
It's been what since I was a freshman.
You were a freshman. I was a sophomore.
2012.
2012. Yeah.
6 years.
6 years.
Yeah.
Definitely glad that we were able to.
I remember you walked. I was a little because you were because he walked to me like he was like this. First off, he was smaller than he was. So, and he was a sophomore. So he was like, what's up? So I heard a lot about you. Okay, nigga. And what? So I was like, what's up? And we've known each other and we've been like this ever since. We do music, we sing. Mm-hmm. Shout out to Lifted, shout out to YL, shout out to Benny and Usnavi, shout out to The Wiz, shout out to, we do a lot together.
Yeah, we.
Today's topic, we are talking about Christianity in our generation. So we all go to the same church, Change Church in Ewing, New Jersey. Shout out to Pastor Daniels, the best pastor on the...
Oh my God, the word today.
Yes.
Come on, somebody. What was it? Lifeguard?
Lifeguard. Danger of the thirst trap.
Yes, danger of the thirst trap.
Listen,
yes.
You should have been there.
The danger of the thirst trap. Yeah, I know about those. Well, he know about those. All right, so we're talking about Christianity in our generation. So,
wow.
How do you feel as though Christianity in our generation, when you think about Christianity in our generation in 2018, how do you see that? All right, so continuing off what I just said, when do you think going to church and seeking God and your relationship with Him became on your own time and not your parents'?
Well, mine happened when a friend of mine hit me up Well, actually, I'm just speaking on when I came to Kingdom because that's when my relationship with God really got better.
Okay.
I was a part of my family church. I wasn't really had a connection. So I seeked elsewhere. And I had situations happening, and like the mentor that I had there, shout out to Ahmad Seno.
Leroy.
He basically helped me understand how to seek God when we don't understand what's happening, trust in Him, and really how to build it up with Him. So
I have to piggyback off that because I have been singing in church since I could remember. And I know for me, when I used to sing at other churches, it was definitely more about my voice than it was about my heart. And I think when I came to Kingdom, then Now Change, Ahmad made sure, he was like, I don't care if you ever sing a note for me, but if your heart ain't right,
if your heart ain't right, you shouldn't be singing on stage.
I don't want it. Like, you know what I mean? So that was always first priority, and for me, that has helped me tremendously. And I think that's when. So it's been about like 3-4 years now where I've been like diligently seeking God on my own time, and going to church with my parents don't even go. You know what I mean? Like having that relationship with Him. For me,
it's one of a kind. I mean, like, cause you like going back to my situation, like growing up as a PK. You know what I mean? Like always going to your family's church, and it's like once I got with me being a musician, of course. I got like petitioned to play at other churches. So I mean, at a time, honestly, I was really only going where the money was flowing, for real. And like,
hey, it's hot out here for a pimp.
Honestly, so like I was playing at churches where I was getting paid, but I mean, I wasn't really getting fed, which was the issue. So
that's very important.
And I honestly, like, I had to like step down for like a second. I mean, even like right now, like I don't even play as much as I used to. Like now it's more about like finding the place where I feel as though I can get fed, which is why I've been going to Change Church, which is great. Come
and see. That's all we're saying.
Come visit.
Change your life while we change the world. You see that, Darius? I did that for you, Daniels. I just did that one. All right. So next question. What needs to happen so that we can see a greater impact on our youth?
That's hard. It really is because it's
deep.
The way these artists are. These artists are. Yeah. They are so, like, I don't want to say the truth, like, say the generation is so impressionable, but they are.
We're very impressionable.
Yes. And it's
peer
sad.
Pressure, everything.
It's really sad, like, how they don't understand how God is really important and how He really can change your life. They look at it as somebody that take drugs, drink and stuff like that. No. The Lord.
We're doing a Christianity. But we're all human and we're all young, and that's what we're saying. Yeah. Like, we're all sin, we all make mistakes, but it's about, correcting those mistakes and trying to have the relationship with God that, He sees and He honors that. You know what I mean?
It's not about acting as though you're perfect.
Yeah, that's you're perfect, because we're not.
Because there's no perfect Christian. I want to put that out there. I always thought there was, but there really isn't.
Yeah.
Never. Especially dealing with a baby mama.
Did this come boring? Is this boring?
Wait, no, time out. But speak on it, because I can't.
But
I know you gotta have somebody to go to. I feel you.
Oh Jesus! If it wasn't for that,
he said,
I've been locked up again.
Okay, so what we're saying is, how does it feel to have friends who are who are Christians as well? Is it important for you in order to be their friend or have a friend? Do they have to be a Christian?
No. But it is much easier if you have friends that are on the same path as you.
Yes.
Because it's like you have that push. It's like, yo, you pray for me, I pray for you, and you just have that team. Like,
it's like if you're in rehab. If you're trying to get away from drugs, don't have drug addicts as friends.
Right.
So for me, I feel like I had two very close friends who who I met in church. And their path and their, journey with Christ was the same as mine. So for me to call them and text them and be like, yo, I need prayer, I need something, or we go to church, that's something we do. I feel as though that's why we were so close, and that's how our relationship thrives so much, because, having a friend that can pray for you is like none other.
Listen, that's beautiful.
Having a female that can pray with you.
Listen, don't get in a relationship with I'm not going to say that.
He said don't. But wait, time out. Okay, here's the thing. I've had a very my last friend, as you would say. Her walk with Christ was very parallel to mine. So for us, like, well, for me, it was that's kind of made me even like her more because like I loved God through, like I seen the God in her, so it made me love her that much more. So for you, I know that your ex she was a Jehovah's Witness, right?
Yes, she was.
How did that work?
Woo! You never would have thought. Never would have.
Okay, so guys, no, if you want to talk about it.
Yeah, I ain't ready to talk about that yet.
Yeah, ready to talk about it? Okay, it's okay.
We
Come back next week when we divulge on Rashawn. Okay, all right. So Dom, how do you?
Is for our segment.
But wait, you have dated someone who's not a Christian. How does that work out?
It don't work out. It don't.
It honestly don't.
I'm not the type of person to knock somebody's religion, but it's not gonna work.
It's just not the. It's like if you don't like dating, like out of your race, but then you date somebody who's out of your race, like it's just not gonna work. You know what I mean? Kind of, sort of, not really.
Because their faith gonna have different things that doesn't go with your faith.
Yeah.
And it's just, y'all gonna have arguments. You gonna wanna go to church, they're not gonna wanna go to church. I don't need that. We gonna both go together.
Yeah, like when you get married, who do the wedding?
Right. We going to the church.
We gonna shout a couple times too,
Right.
Oh Lord.
At the altar.
All right, so this last question I have for you guys: what advice would you give to youth that are struggling with being open about their Christianity? So like they're Christians, they go to church, but they don't really, they don't like to post about it on social media. They don't like to, boast about it with their friends or talk about it with their friends. What advice would you give them?
Ain't nothing to be scared about.
Right, like God is lit.
You know what I mean?
What are you talking about?
And the crazy thing about it is that if you post something or like if you're more open about it, like it's gonna draw other people to you.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And like even people who may be even struggling in their own walk of faith, like it can draw them and be like, hey, like I didn't know you were a Christian, or like, hey, like I didn't know you had the same beliefs as I do. Like I might be struggling with something and you can help me out, or you may be, or we may be able to help each other out. Like
never be ashamed of your faith and of your God, because there's a scripture. I don't know what scripture it is.
Right.
You might gotta look that up on your own. But it says, if you deny me, in front of your friends, I'm gonna deny you when you're in front of my face trying to get in heaven. I ain't trying. God, we know each other. You know what I mean? I don't want you to be like, you know what I mean? So you gotta think about that. All jokes aside, you really gotta think about, giving respect and honor where it's due. And with that being said, we're gonna play a quick game and then we're gonna be out of here. Game is called What Would Jesus Do? So we got a couple questions, and they're questions and they're things that some people go through, and you have to take yourself out of it and see what would Jesus do. What would the Christian thing be? Okay, so we have the first one. Your husband, your wife cheats on you. What would Jesus do?
Jesus would pack them bags.
Maybe back them doors. Okay.
No, honestly, I mean, like that situation, like obviously.
You know what we need on this show for that question? We need Tina Campbell, because she, she know, and I'm just saying. No, she been through it, and look, they're back and they're better than ever, right?
I can't do that. I'm sorry, Lord.
But what would Jesus do?
Jesus would let that go and have somebody new that is better for me, that would do right by me, and I would do right by them, and yeah.
No,
it wouldn't cheat on me.
No, what Jesus would do is forgive the other person.
Right.
And
let go.
No, not let go, but try to fix whatever the issue was.
If it's fixable.
If it's fixable.
If it's fixable.
But then again, we're talking about.
Smart.
But then again, like anything is fixable if you actually really think about it. There's no thing that can't be fixed. And that's honestly true.
Oh, what do you mean by that?
All it comes down to.
What do you mean? You're talking about in a relationship?
And think that's gonna work.
Right.
No, but okay, all right. You said what you say now?
Not if they want to be fixed.
Not if they don't want to be. That's what we're saying.
Another yes. There's a lot of different variables.
We got an audience member. Come on, Tamar. Shout out to Tamar. She records for us.
Somehow.
So he said not if they don't want to be fixed. That's true. You can't fix somebody who don't want to be fixed. But what you're saying is, if you and Dom in a relationship and you go and have another baby on her, right?
It ain't working, boo.
But this is what we're saying. We're saying
there's a lot. Too many variables.
He's sorry. It was a one night thing. He wants to fix it, and you want to fix it. What do you say about that?
I'm gonna pray
What
about
would Jesus do? Okay, and if Jesus
pray
tells
about
you that this is the love of your life, you need to forgive him like he forgave you.
I'm gonna keep praying about it. I'm like, God, are you sure? Are you sure? Because he had a whole baby on me, you know?
Right.
If he was supposed to be for me, I mean, then he wouldn't have a baby. So.
Right. Okay, let's go to our next question. We have, if you saw some young kids bullying your child, what would Jesus do?
Jesus would tuck them little kids up and smack them outside the head.
What would Jesus do? Yahweh, him, not you.
I can't speak for the Lord. Cause I don't know.
What Jesus would do is, I feel like
Stop it.
Stop it. But like, it's hard because what Jesus would do, in the time that Jesus was alive, he would have been able to talk to the kid.
Right.
You know what I mean? And explain to them.
So what's the difference between you
These
talking?
kids are
Because
so
these
disrespectful.
kids today is on a whole nother
Okay,
level.
but you still got to be able to talk to the children.
And then he'd be like, "You not my dad."
Okay, but still, you gotta first give.
And what would
you
Jesus
gotta
say
give
back to
grace
that?
and mercy.
What would Jesus say back
first,
to that?
right? Mm-hmm. First, you gotta give grace and mercy first.
Did they show my baby grace and mercy when they
But
was
you
growing
have,
up?
okay,
Right.
but you have to give grace and mercy. If God does it, we
hard.
gotta do it.
See, look, this is an example. We ain't perfect. Like,
At all.
Okay,
all.
now I have. Let's do two more. Your child tells you to shut up and slams the door in your face. What would Jesus do?
What happened? What was
Jesus,
Your
take that belt off.
Your child tells you to
Literally.
shut up and slams the door in your face.
We ain't white. We don't play them games. Like-
So annoying. What would Jesus do, Dominic? Jesus is stirring up in your soul. What would he do?
Jesus, you know my heart, and you know that I'm crazy. So at that moment, I wouldn't think, what would Jesus do? That's disrespectful. I don't take disrespect. So I would.
But what would Jesus?
I don't know what Jesus would do. I can't pray in that moment.
Okay.
I would pray. But I didn't
I would need to pray for strength so that I do not bust
wisdom
down that
and
door.
discernment.
and that I don't kill them.
That's what you gotta pray for. Yeah. Okay, our last question.
Jesus, that's bad. That's hard.
You find a wallet that has $1,500 with cash in it. What would Jesus do?
Jesus would look to see if there's an ID in the wallet.
Yes, he would, and he will return it. Am I right? Would he return
Yes. If there is an ID in the wallet.
he
If there ain't no ID in the wallet.
Wait.
Then
What?
Jesus saw that I was been working so hard and decided to bless me
That's what I'm thinking, man.
with
I think
$1,500.
But you said that's what you think.
But listen. What if at that moment, this is just hypothetically speaking, I'm not saying this is what God would say to you, but in the moment you need $1,500 and then $1,500 pop up, wouldn't you just think, God's doing it?
Yes, but if
God's playing, that's what you think. It's God.
Shout out to Drizzy Drake in the building. Well, he's not in the building, but you know what I mean. All right, but if somebody's ID's in there, you know it's rightfully not yours.
Okay, well, if they ID in there, then...
But then again, if their ID's in there, like that might lead you to be like, for the person to be like.
And what if you gave
look,
it back and you gave it back to him and they said,
And he
here,
gave
take
you
it. Because look, oh, Jesus. He'll do it if
Right.
that was almost a, shit.
Listen, everybody don't know God.
All right, so with that, that's the end of game time. Check this out. We got a little surprise for you. We are going to be performing a cover, not a cover, because you wrote it. Sorry.
Yes,
We're going to be
right.
performing an original song by Rashawn Cooper. I kind of tweaked it a little bit, because he had a little. No, I'm just kidding. I tweaked it a little bit to make it cater towards Christ, because his was about a relationship and his. Whew. So I catered it back towards Jesus, Jesus Christ, and Dominique King and I are going to be singing it, and Rashawn Cooper is going to be in the keys. So I introduce for you, performed by Dominique King, Isaiah Alston, with Rashawn Cooper on the keys.
You know what? I'm not.
Shout out to our off-camera audience. We love y'all out there. If you want to come and be in the audience, let me know.
It's not just. I didn't do
He
that.
said he's a friend, so he's...
No, yeah, you cleaned it up. First he was like, damn, what am I gonna do with those? 3.
Wait. Take this.
Why you say